right, folks, welcome to another episode of Cat Talk here on GreenCountyHeraldOnline.com. I'm Russell Turner. This is my good friend Nick Chatham, AD here at Greene County High School. And we are back in Coach Scott Bray's office celebrating his birthday today.
That's right.
And I don't know if it's because it's his birthday or what, but there is a buzz around this school today. It's Friday, game day, and just seems like a lot going on. We got a big football game tonight, and tell us what's happening.
Well, you know, pep rally today, of course, always gets the kids excited. Had a dance off at the pep rally, and one of my baseball players, Isaiah Jordan, really showed out. So we appreciate that. Always proud to see that. You know, another reason there's a buzz is we have two different seasons kicking off. Starting tomorrow, we have basketball season kicking off and soccer season. So that's exciting, and of course, football season is on the tail end of theirs, and it's you know, they're playing Northeast Jones tonight. Going to be a big game, a big home game. So just exciting, a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in the door and you could feel it. Just a lot of energy out today, and I always like coming out here on Fridays anyway, because that seems to be the thing. But it's that time of year. You got a lot of things going on. A lot of kids playing a lot of different sports, and just a lot of activities happening.
Yeah, speaking of different sports, starting to start back up. We're going to have Coach Jana Maxwell and one of her seniors, Miss Auburn Shepard, on here in a minute. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a great interview, and just can't wait to get them on.
And I'm looking forward to actually sitting down with Coach Poe. We're going to have her on to talk a little bit about her history and her coming back to Greene County. So we're excited about that. So folks, please stick around. We've got a good show for you today, and we'll be back in a few minutes to get it started. If you've suffered an injury and are seeking justice for that injury, you don't have to leave town to find a personal injury lawyer. You need to call Joe Beard with Beard & Stewart's Attorneys at Law. Hometown lawyers helping hometown folks. Give Joe a call at 601-394-5900. And remember, go Cats go!
All right, welcome back, folks. We're joined here, as we told you earlier, with Coach Vanessa Poe, one of our new basketball and volleyball coaches, and we're just glad to have her on staff. She comes to us from North Forest, was her last stint in her career. We're just she's been a blessing here to be on our campus this year, and we're glad to have you, Coach Poe. And just tell us a little bit about your career so far.
Okay. Well, first, I'm glad to be back home. I am a Greene County graduate, Greene County native from State Line, Mississippi. I emphasize Mississippi because we're on the line.
That's right.
But I'm just glad to be back home. I started my career at Fruitdale High School. That was my first year coaching. And then I went to Hattiesburg and coached there for 11 years with built the middle school program in conjunction with the high school program. I went to North Forest and back home.
Right.
Fantastic.
So, yes, these past 17 years have been made a complete circle.
Well, I'm glad to find have you on, because Nick said something about you being a blessing, and I have heard that repeatedly in the last several months out here talking to other coaches, and clearly you've already made an impact. I see you out on the basketball court, and you helped with volleyball as well, correct?
Yes, I did add a new sport to my resume as volleyball coach, but I enjoyed it. It was something different because volleyball was not the sport when, you know, we didn't have volleyball when I came through Greene County. And so actually, I'm not going to say what year, you know, but
94.
But we didn't have volleyball. And in fact, I didn't know Greene County had a volleyball program until about 2 years ago.
Right.
I looked on the schedule at North Forest. I said, volleyball, okay, you know, because we're softball and basketball girls down here, you soccer girls.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I apparently have earned a shirt. I don't know who threw that at me, but okay.
That was Coach Campbell.
Okay.
Coach Campbell.
Most of you will probably recognize, those of you who have been in Greene County for several years will recognize the last name Poe. You know, Coach Poe's dad was a longtime basketball coach here in the county. What years was that? Do you know, Coach?
I know he did 32 years of service for Greene County, and I know it started, I'm going to say 1960 to 1992. So, yeah,
okay.
So 32
Yeah,
years.
because he coached out here the first few years, correct?
Yes, he coached,
Did he retire from here?
he retired from
Okay.
here. Yes, he did all 32 years, and he opened up the, I guess he opened up the gym, and he retired in 92. So,
Right.
yeah.
Wow. And unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to know him and meet him. I wish I had, because I heard a lot of good things about him. And I heard this morning that we're putting up a monument to his career and his commitment to Greene County. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the school board voted, I think last week it was the vote, and I had to get the information over to Mr. Breland, to Charles, to get, everything. So they're going to put a monument up, I think in the foyer, in memory of him for his years in service to Greene County.
That'd be awesome.
That will be awesome. So you've been a coach for 17 years and a teacher. What subjects do you teach?
I taught science for the past 17 years, and so coming to Greene County, I'm teaching Keystone now, which help kids prepare for opportunities, to research different careers.
Right.
Because, at this age, we kind of know what careers are already out there, but now we're trying to teach them to have a different outlook.
Right.
It might be something else different that you might be interested in.
Right.
Coach, tell us, it's always good to get homegrown people to come back and work in the county, but tell us a little bit about your first couple months here, being back home, and how you liked it and things like that.
But it was different, coming back home, I just settled right in, like, okay, yeah, I'm glad to be back, It was just a different vibe and atmosphere. You walk in the morning time, everybody, good morning, whereas in some places it might have been, good morning, So, you just to get a good morning and a nice smile, to start your day, So it's been different. Kids, it's been a different atmosphere and a blessing, that get your day going. Kids have been very receptive, especially when they find out I'm from here and that, I am Greene County native. I've just been gone for a while, but I'm back home.
Right.
It was time to come back.
Well, Nick and I have talked about this quite a few times. It is good to have people come back to our school district. But I think it's great that you've got experience elsewhere and you've seen some other things that you can bring to the table here, but you also can get a feel for how we've done things and which way works best. And I think that's what's great about bringing folks back in. So glad to have you back, and I'm glad to have you on campus. So I'm excited about it. So basketball season starts. The girls this weekend.
Morning.
Wow, and y'all are playing where?
We're playing in Pass Christian. And I know that we're playing PCS in our first game.
It's like 9:40 or something I saw on the schedule.
Well, I think they bumped it down to 11 because their volleyball team is playing in the state championship, past Christian, so we had to, move some things around.
Right.
Now, we're not playing them because I know they are a district game, so, they don't,
Are these going to be halves or?
Yeah, halves.
Okay.
Yeah, so they want to play the district folks, play them
later
on.
Right.
We'll sit back and watch each other, like, take notes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
No doubt. Well, once again, I think it's great to have you here. Anything you want to add to the mix?
I'm just glad to be back home, and I'm looking forward to this basketball season. We had a strong volleyball season this year. A lot of people were really, we exceeded a lot of expectations for the teams we played. I think we wound up third in the district. And of course, only the top two teams can, make the run. But I'm looking for a lot of great things coming back from them next year.
Yeah.
And as well as just getting this season started for basketball. I think that, this is going to be a good season.
Well, I think it's interesting that you bring that up, because volleyball next year, you get a lot of returning experience.
Yes.
And on the basketball side, you're having to replace a lot of experience, although you do have a lot of girls coming back.
We have a good junior crew that's coming back next year. So next year will probably be the big replenishing year. But I think the juniors will be seniors next year. So, we have a lot of key players.
It's going to be fun to watch. I've talked to Coach Kimball a little bit about the change of style we'll see this year. So exciting stuff.
And speaking of Coach Kimball, you're the daughter of a legend, but now you're coaching with a legend out there on the court. How's
so
that been so far?
It's been fun, exciting. And it was like, yesterday was so funny because I saw a picture I want him to do with the schedule, and I shot it to him. I think he shot it to you.
To me,
Yeah, it was like, the girls in the wilderness, I won't give too much out there, but I loved it. I said, Coach, we got to do this, so get them, pumped up. So they got to, got to do this. So it's been, fun working with him. It's kind of like, merging. I'm kind of old school too, because, my dad with, but also I got, some new things.
Right.
And with, him kind of, with the old school and the new school. Well, I would say I'm mixed school. I'm not new. But, just merging and blending them. It's been fun.
Well, and that's getting back to what we talked about earlier. When you have that kind of experience and you've coached with a lot of different people in a lot of different situations, I just think that brings a lot to the table. And, now, I'm going to depend on you to find that live wildcat that's got to be in the studio. I'm not going to be involved in that. But you can do that.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Well, good deal. I think it's great having you on.
Okay.
Anything we can ever do to help you out, we look forward to having you back on maybe mid-season when you can tell, because you are coaching the JV team too.
Yes, I'm coaching the
So
JV
we
team.
definitely don't want to leave those young girls out because some of them are going to make immediate impacts on and probably in varsity too. But certainly need to get them that good time with playing time in JV.
And they've been working hard. JV, a lot of them, this is their first year playing basketball, so they've been working hard.
Good deal. Looking forward to seeing it.
Okay.
Folks, we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to finally get around to talking to Coach Jana about the upcoming soccer season. So stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.
Here's a scenario. Work has sent you cross country. You drive 2,000 miles, eat something that resembles food, and seal the deal with a room full of strangers. Now you have a big old check, which means you hold in your hands the future of your company. But wait, you have the Singing River Federal app, which means you and thousands of others like you can bank wherever you are. So no more worries, except for whatever you ate. Singing River Federal, the better way to bank, wherever you are.
All right, folks, we're back here with Coach Jana Maxwell and Miss Auburn Shepherd. We've tried this a few times, and hopefully we can get it right today. But folks, we're really glad to have y'all on today to talk about the upcoming season. Coach, get us started. Tell us about how your team's preparing and how things are going so far.
We're working hard. We're practicing as much as we can. Actually, this week we've moved into more attacking practices and seen some positive things. We've always struggled on the attacking side of the ball, but I'm feeling a lot more confident this year. I have some good athletes that we picked up from other sports this year, and really looking forward to see what happens. This Saturday we were supposed to be scrimmaging Resurrection, but they're in volleyball playoffs, so we're going to have to scrimmage ourselves this weekend. But it'll be good to get a full 11 on the field and see how everything meshes together. Hadn't had that opportunity yet, so.
Oh, cool, good deal.
Well, see, you got Auburn here with you, Auburn Shepherd, ladies and gentlemen, and she seems like she's been here for about 15 years now. But you started playing soccer and starting as what, an 8th grader?
8th grader, yes.
8th grader. So tell us a little bit about your experience through the 5 or 6 years you've been here at the high school.
Gosh, every year it just gets better and better. I hate to leave this year. It really just flew right on by. And Coach Jana has helped me so much on taking on that leader role. Mm-hmm. That way I can help out the younger teammates and they can be the future captain.
Right.
Well, I mean, you are experienced in that because although she didn't start till the 8th grade, she played a lot as a 7th grader, and I can remember those days of her being a young phenom, and now she's come all the way through to being a senior. Talk to us a little bit. I mean, you said you're sad that it's your last year, but I mean, talk to us a little bit about actually playing your senior season and how that feels.
Oh, I'm just gonna play every game like it is my last one, like I have been all these years. I just love giving it my all. I love the sport. I just love it. And I'm so sad to leave Coach Jana this year. Just like my mom.
Hey, let's just win a championship and it'll make it all feel better.
Or you can come back and coach with her.
Oh, yeah, talking about
So,
championship sounds good.
And we might even can work some paperwork a little bit now that Nick's day didn't know.
well, you mentioned being a senior in that leadership role. Coach Jana, do you have some more girls that are taking on that leadership role this year?
We have a lot of experienced girls. We have a couple more seniors with Auburn here, but in general, we've had a very young team over the last several years. So my experienced players really are starting to be that leadership, and it's more than one person. It's more of a group that really look to push each other and push the younger girls and take them under their wing. So I couldn't really name just one. It would have to be a group of people, really. It'll be interesting to see who steps into the role that Auburn's leaving behind after this year and see who really embraces that leadership role. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, in our first couple of attempts to do this, Auburn did touch on that, the fact that, it's kind of a tight-knit group and a little family feeling. We talked about this before, you're midfield, right?
This year I'll be playing center back.
Center back, okay. Tell us about that change, a little bit of a different look for you.
I love midfield, love playing midfield, but center back I love the most because I get to see the full field besides the goalie behind me. And
Right.
I love being in the center back position because you see the full field and you don't have to be very vocal,
Right.
to your teammates, helping them out. Constructive criticism.
Well, how much, I mean, at midfield, you were used to creating. And so do you feel like even as a defender, you're still, with your vision of the field, you're still able to start some of your attacks?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I have the ball in the center back position. I can find one of our defensive mids, attacking mids, where I could play it to the outside player and they can play it up for me.
Even in our formation, though, she as a center back, she's kind of allowed. We're going to play 3 center backs most likely, but her being the central one, that's going to give her a little more freedom because our outside 2 center backs, they'll be marking forwards most of the time. She'll have a little more freedom to actually move up the field
Right.
and become possibly a defensive mid. And if it works out, she may even make it up to the attacking mid level. And the defensive mids, they know how to rotate in those positions and kind of drop
Right.
back and take her spot. And just, it allows her, I think, a little more creativity on her part. I know taking her out of midfield took her out of the main kind of build there, but she'll have more opportunities to move forward from a deeper position, and it'll catch teams off guard. So it's
Well, it
gonna,
would seem to me, though, that her experience makes that possible.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
because, Nick couldn't go out there and do that.
Right.
So,
No comment.
Well, another thing we're excited about with our soccer program, we're going to have a JV team this year, right?
Yes.
And also have added a new assistant, which is huge for any sports program. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we picked up Evelyn Bush. She's a kindergarten teacher at McLean. She actually lives quite close to the soccer field, so it kind of works out that she can leave her work, her job, and drive over, have practice, and then she's already right here at home. So she knows enough about the sport to really help us with our JV program and just working on basic skills and preparing them. We actually have our first JV game Monday at Oak Grove, and we have a few injured players. I'm actually no JV goalie right now, so I actually was just asking some of the varsity girls that have kind of had interest in being a goalie. They said, hey, yeah, I'll go help you out. You throw me in the goal, so we'll be seeing some
That's one thing
different side of
a
them.
JV program does for you. I use it mainly to get kids ready for next year. But there are instances where maybe you need to mold and create a backup goalie.
Right.
That you throw them out there in JV, and that's where they get the experience that they need because, we can practice them all we want, but there's nothing like game experience. So I think that's going to be a huge advantage for the program.
Definitely. We had a JV team years before. It just, with COVID and a lot of things that happened, our numbers dropped drastically. So it's good to have these numbers coming back up and allowing us to really build our program. So it's exciting.
And we talked about it last time we tried to do this, but the soccer facility down there is it's something to be very proud of. I know y'all have all worked hard to get that. And talk to us a little bit about just how nice it is to have your own facility.
It's wonderful. We had an alumni game this past Saturday, and we were kind of talking about our first soccer game we ever had. We had to move it from here, like talking about when I was on the first team. We had to move our game from here because football was still playing. We had to load up the goals and take them to McLean, and we played on the football field there for our first few games, like our first official game. And it's always been wonderful to be able to share and be a part, be close to the school, but kind of going down, having our own place, things that we can look after, teach our players responsibilities, work ethic, keeping their facility, taking pride in what they have, and also giving back to the community. We've spent a lot of time asking for a lot of things, but we've also tried to turn around and give back to the community and allow people to use our facility, or come be together and have events there that can be more of a community, sense there. So
I appreciate that sentiment a great deal because in a community such as ours, our businesses and our families and churches are asked to do a lot. And I think it's a pretty good model that y'all have done down there in creating your complex because you're adding to it a little bit every year. And like I understand that there's some kick walls going up, which will be great for those JV kids particularly. I think, and so it's nice to see that the facility's developing the way it is.
definitely, and we have a lot more plans, I guess you could say, for what we would like to do to make it more friendly to the community as well for different events and things like that.
Well, our men's sports are going to have to step up a little bit because the softball team alumni game was a huge attraction. And the one the other day for the alumni game was a huge attraction for soccer
It was
down there. And I have to get a plug in for my son because Jackson was so excited that you know, he came and got a red card in an alumni game. So, it's crazy to talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule and the games upcoming. What about region? Who were your region teams that you'll face this year? Is it a new region or is it?
We have Forest County, Poplarville, us, and Purvis, which is our usual. Last year we had Stone County,
Right.
but they're in a different district this time, so we're back to what we're used to.
Right.
So we'll be looking at Poplarville, of course. That'll probably be our biggest competition.
Yeah, those are always, it doesn't matter which sport, that's always an interesting game. Now talk to us about what you're looking forward to. What are the games that you've got your eyes on?
I mean, of course, George County.
Of course, yeah.
Those are rivals, but
This is a
definitely.
family-friendly show.
Yes.
Don't use those words.
Sorry. But then, of course, Poplarville. I mean, like last year we went into PKs with them. It's always been a really good competition between us and them, so I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward this year.
And it does seem in those Poplarville games, you know, you can pretty well throw anything else out that's happened. That's going to be a tough game, every year, year in and year out. So, but you play a lot with those. You played club ball with some of those George County girls over the years, so you know them real well. Those are your friends. So obviously you want to go out and compete well against them.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you get your red card like Jackson.
Oh, don't do that. No.
No, I want to play.
We really appreciate y'all coming on and hope it got to record this time. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us again.
Thank you
yeah,
very
and just if you're out there listening, get your blankets out, your heated jackets, because soccer season's here and that means cold weather. So come out and support the Wildcats this year. It's going to be a great season, both the girls and the boys. So we look forward to seeing you out and about. So
Absolutely. Good luck to both of y'all. Good luck on your senior year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll be back to wrap things up in just a minute. The mission of Greene County Farm Bureau is to provide you with unmatched customer service and attention. If you're looking for home, auto, or life insurance, you should definitely give Jared Lott or Tyler Bray a call to learn more about the full line of insurance and financial services they have available. It's easy to find out if you're getting the type of coverage you need at the best possible rates. Just drop by and see Jared or Tyler at 812 Main Street in Leakesville or give them a call at 601-394-2801.
all right, welcome back to Cat Talk. As you just heard, some very good interviews with Coach Poe and Coach Maxwell and Auburn. Always great to have those people on. You know, you talk about Coach Poe, who we had on first. As we mentioned, just great to have her back home in Greene County. She has been just a light here in the school, just always energetic, always has a great attitude. The kids seem to really love her, so we're excited to have her.
Yeah, well, I kept hearing people talk about, her, and I hadn't had a chance to really sit down and talk to her today, and I was not disappointed. I tell you, she's a lot of fun and eloquent, and how she talks about the different things that she's involved in, and of course her family history is something to be excited about, and her having graduated from Greene County High School, and then to come back 17 years later and actually coach here, I think that's a good thing.
Right.
And we finally, after a couple of tries, get to have Coach Maxwell and Auburn on, and get a chance to talk to them about their upcoming season. So.
Yeah, and that was a great interview as well. Coach Jana's been here, probably, at least 7 years as the head coach of the volleyball team, maybe even more. She's been here the whole time I've been here, this is my 7th or 8th year back. So, she's got a lot of experience in that, and we talked about Auburn and the experience that she has. She seems to have a great head on her shoulders and a great sense of I'm the leader of the team, which is what you have to have if you want to win championships and be successful.
Need somebody to step up into that role. I wish we'd had more time to talk to Jana because, honestly, you're right. She's kind of the face of women's soccer here. On one of the, I think she might have been on the first team here.
I think that's what she said.
Yeah, if not, she was certainly on. Because she talked about the McLean days.
Yep.
So it's good to have all of those folks on and get to talking. Like we said in the introduction, there's still a buzz. You can hear it out in the hall. And so, folks, if you can, I know it's short notice, but try to come out and support the Wildcats tonight. It's a non-region game, but they really want to try to get back on track. I think they've got most of the pieces of their puzzle back. A few kids, it's a little questionable, but they really need to have a good game and a lot of support tonight, so they'll be primed up, ready to go next week when we go down to Pass Christian. That's a Thursday night game.
Yes, it's going to be a
So-
Thursday night game. They MHSAA switched those. All the 4A will be played on Thursday night. Just a lack of officials, so that's going to help out with that.
Right.
So yeah, they're a big game tonight, non-region game of course, but it gets them ready for a big game next week.
Right.
Still some playoff implications on the line.
Right.
We could make it. We could go fourth. We could not make it. It's just next week's going to be a huge game for us. And then of course, as always, we're relying on other teams and what they do against other teams.
Right. Well, at this point, and you know this very well, you got to get in. You got to get in first. Obviously, you'd like to be, second or third at least, or third. But at this point, we just want to get in and be playing well at the right time.
Right.
So if you can, come on out and support the Wildcats. If not, we will be back with you next week with another episode of Cat Talk.
All right.
All right. Take care.